1 year had passed since humanity reclaimed Earth. Ambassador Yoon Jin-ae stood in the rebuilt United Nations building in New Geneva, looking out at the most important gathering in galactic history. Before her, representatives from every alien species in the galaxy knelt on the marble floor. Fourth-act generals who had once commanded millions of soldiers, Zelani scientists who had believed themselves the smartest beings alive, morphic leaders who had ruled star systems for thousands of years, all of them knelt before a human woman. "Rise," Yoon said calmly. The aliens stood up slowly, their faces showing fear and confusion. They still could not understand how humans had become so powerful. "You came here to surrender," Yoon continued, "to offer your worlds, your fleets, your entire civilizations to humanity." Chancellor Vrim, the former leader of the Galactic Council, stepped forward. His blue skin had turned pale with stress. "Ambassador Yoon, we acknowledge human superiority. We offer unconditional surrender. Please have mercy on our people." Yoon walked among the alien representatives. Her footsteps echoed in the silent chamber. "Mercy," she repeated thoughtfully. 300 years ago, my ancestors came to you asking for mercy. Do you remember what you told them?" The alien said nothing. They remembered. "You said that mercy was for the strong. You said the weak deserved nothing." Yoon stopped in front of a Vorthak admiral. "What is your name?" "Admiral Kex, Your Excellence." "Admiral Kex, how many human worlds did your fleets destroy during the exile?" The admiral's voice was barely a whisper. 47, Your Excellence." "And how many humans died on those worlds?" 2 billion, Your Excellence," Yoon nodded. "And you expect mercy from us?" The admiral began to shake. "Please, Your Excellence. I was following orders. We all were." "Following orders," Yoon repeated. "Just as we are following orders now." She activated a holographic display that showed the galaxy. Red dots marked former alien worlds. Blue dots showed human colonies. "In the past year, humanity has taken control of 4,000 star systems," Yoon announced. "Every major alien military base has been captured or destroyed. Every alien fleet has been defeated." The display zoomed in to show specific worlds. The aliens watched in amazement as planets were completely transformed in a matter of days. "Our technology can reshape entire worlds," Yoon explained. "We can turn poisoned wastelands into gardens. We can create new oceans and forests. We can even move planets to better orbits." On the display, they watched human ships moving an entire world closer to its sun to improve the climate. "How is this possible?" whispered a Zelani scientist. "Because we had to learn how to rebuild everything from nothing," Yoon replied. "When you scattered us to dead worlds, we learned to bring them back to life." The display changed to show Earth itself. The blue planet looked completely different from a year ago. The gray clouds were gone. Green forests covered the continents. The ocean sparkled in the sunlight. "This is what Earth looks like now," Yoon said. "In 12 months, we have undone 300 years of damage." Captain Kim Tae-ho appeared on the communication screen from orbit above Earth. "Ambassador, the terraforming is complete," he reported. "Earth's atmosphere is now cleaner than it was before industrial civilization. The forests have been restored to their original state. The oceans are full of life again." "Excellent work, Captain." Yoon turned back to the alien representatives. "You see, we did not just learn to survive in exile. We learned to create." She walked to the large window that showed the landscape outside. Where there had once been a poisoned wasteland, now there were rolling green hills and clear rivers. "But creation is not our only skill," Yoon continued. The display changed again, showing space battles from across the galaxy. Human ships moved through alien fleets like death itself. Entire civilizations fell in hours. "We also learned to destroy with perfect efficiency." Admiral Roman Siok's voice came through the communication system. "Ambassador, I am pleased to report that the last Vorthak resistance cell has been eliminated. The galaxy is now under complete human control." "Thank you, Admiral." Yoon faced the alien representatives again. "So you see, we could destroy every alien world if we wished. We could wipe out your entire species and rebuild the galaxy with only humans." The aliens looked terrified. They knew she was not making empty threats. "But we will not do that," Yoon said, "because we are not you." She walked back to the center of the chamber. "Instead, we offer you a choice. Serve humanity faithfully and your species will survive. Help us build a better galaxy and you will prosper. But if you ever threaten humans again..." She did not need to finish the sentence. Chancellor Vrim stepped forward again. "What do you require of us?" Complete obedience, Yun replied simply. Human interests come first, always. Human worlds are protected absolutely. Human decisions are final. And in return, you get to live. You get to keep your cultures, your families, your worlds. Under human protection. The aliens looked at each other. It was not really a choice, but it was better than extinction. We accept, Chancellor Vrim said for all of them. Yoon nodded. Good. You will receive detailed instructions for integrating your civilizations into the Human Galactic Federation. She walked toward the exit of the chamber. Ambassador, called out a morphic representative. What happens now? Yoon paused at the doorway. Now we build the galaxy that should have existed 300 years ago. A galaxy where humans are never again forced to beg for a place to live. She left the chamber, and the aliens were alone with their new reality. Outside the building, children played in Earth's restored parks. They were human children, the first to be born on humanity's homeworld in 3 centuries. They laughed and ran through gardens that their great-grandparents had never thought they would see again. Their parents watched from nearby benches, monitoring communication channels that now carried messages from across the galaxy, reports of successful terraforming projects, news of alien worlds accepting human leadership, updates on the rescue of the last human slaves. Admiral Rowe stood on his flagship above Earth, looking down at the blue planet through the bridge window. His tactical officer Lee Dongwu approached with the day's reports. Sir, we have received surrender offers from the last 12 independent alien governments, Lee reported. Accept them all, Rowe replied, but keep our fleets ready. Some species learn slower than others. Yes, sir. Also, the exploration fleets have found 47 new worlds suitable for human colonization. Rowe smiled. Good. We have a lot of lost time to make up for. He looked at Earth one more time. The planet where humanity began was now the center of a galactic empire. An empire built not on conquest, but on the simple principle that humans would never again be homeless. Sir, Lee said quietly, do you think we did the right thing? Rowe considered the question. 300 years ago, our ancestors were driven from their home by aliens who thought humans were too weak to matter. Today, those same aliens kneel before us and beg for mercy. He turned away from the window. We gave them the same mercy they gave us. We let them live. And if they rebel, then they will learn that humans have become very good at solving problems permanently. On Earth's surface, in the rebuilt city of Seoul, former resistance leader Lim So-young walked through streets filled with both humans and aliens. The aliens moved carefully, respectfully. They had learned their place in the new order. A young Zilani approached her nervously. Excuse me, madam, may I ask a question? Yes. Will humans ever forgive us for what we did? So-young looked at the alien for a long moment. No, she said finally. But we will let you earn the right to be forgotten. The Zilani nodded and walked away quickly. So-young continued her walk through the city. Above her, human ships moved across the sky like new stars. The age of human dominance had begun, and it would last forever. The galaxy had learned a simple truth. Never make humans fight for their survival. Because when humans have no choice but to be perfect, they become something that cannot be stopped. Earth was home again, and humanity would make sure it stayed that way. Dr. Nam Hyunwoo stood in his laboratory on the human research vessel Prometheus. Around him, alien prisoners watched in terror as he demonstrated what humans had become during their long exile. You want to know how we survived? Nam asked the Vorthak scientist strapped to the examination table. You want to understand what 300 years of hardship did to us? The alien scientist named Krej could barely speak. Your species was weak, primitive. How did you become this? Nam smiled and walked to a sealed chamber. Inside, a small piece of metal glowed with deadly radiation, enough to kill any alien in seconds. Watch carefully, Nam said. He opened the chamber and reached inside with his bare hand. He pulled out the radioactive metal and held it calmly. His skin absorbed the radiation like food. When you drove us to the worst worlds in the galaxy, we learned to eat radiation for energy, Nam explained. Our bodies adapted. We became stronger. Krej stared in disbelief. That should kill you instantly. It would have 300 years ago, Nam replied. But humans learn quickly when their lives depend on it. He placed the radioactive metal back in the chamber and walked to another demonstration area. Here, a tank of acid bubbled and steamed. The planets you gave us had atmospheres of poison gas, Nam continued. So we learned to breathe poison. He dipped his entire hand into the acid. It did not hurt him at all. His enhanced skin simply absorbed the dangerous chemicals. You put us on worlds where the gravity would crush normal beings, Nam said. So we learned to ignore gravity. He stepped off the floor and floated in the air. His body generated its own gravitational field. You sent us to the cold darkness between stars, Nam continued, floating near the ceiling. So we learned to survive in vacuum. He gestured to a wall panel. It opened, showing the empty space outside the ship. Nam floated through the opening into the vacuum. Krish watched through the transparent barrier as the human scientists survived in space without any protection. No suit, no air, no warmth. Nam floated back inside after several minutes. Every challenge you gave us made us stronger, he said. Every hardship taught us something new. This is impossible, Krish whispered. Your favorite word, Nam replied. But nothing is impossible for humans who refuse to die. Meanwhile, on the Vorthak homeworld, Commander Seo Jun-ho led the final human assault. His soldiers moved through the capital city like living weapons. The aliens had built massive walls around their city, walls 50 meters high and 10 meters thick. They thought these would stop any attack. Seo walked up to the nearest wall and placed his hand on it. The metal began to melt. He stepped through the hole as if it was a doorway. Behind him, 1,000 human soldiers followed. They moved through the alien city like ghosts. Their enhanced bodies let them run faster than vehicles. Their improved minds let them think faster than computers. Target the government buildings, Seo ordered through his communicator. Capture all leaders alive. The Vorthak soldiers tried to fight back. They fired their most powerful weapons at the humans. Plasma beams that could destroy tanks struck the human soldiers directly. The beams simply passed through their bodies without causing any damage. How are they doing this? Screamed a Vorthak general as he watched his army fall apart. Their bodies exist in multiple dimensions simultaneously, explained his science advisor. Our weapons can only affect three-dimensional space. What does that mean? It means they have become something beyond our understanding. Seo reached the main government building. It was a fortress designed to withstand any attack. Energy shields surrounded it. Weapons platforms defended every approach. Seo simply walked through the shields as if they were not there. The weapons fired at him constantly, but he ignored them completely. Inside the building, he found the Vorthak Emperor cowering in his throne room. Please, the Emperor begged. We can negotiate. We can give you anything you want. Seo looked at the alien ruler with cold eyes. 300 years ago, my ancestors begged you for mercy. They asked you to let them keep just one world. We can discuss terms, the Emperor said desperately. You told them that humans were too weak to deserve a place in the galaxy, Seo continued. You said we should be grateful to die quickly. Seo walked closer to the throne. The Emperor tried to activate his personal shields, but they had no effect on the human soldier. Now you will learn what weakness really means, Seo said. On a dozen other worlds, similar scenes played out. Human forces swept through alien civilizations like a natural disaster. Nothing could stop them. Nothing could slow them down. Colonel An Mi-jin stood in the ruins of the Zilani capital. Around her, alien leaders knelt in surrender. Their most powerful weapons lay broken on the ground. Where are the human slaves? She demanded. We set them free years ago, lied the Zilani Prime Minister. Mi-jin looked at him with enhanced vision that could see through any deception. You are lying. I can see it in your brain patterns. She placed her hand on the alien's head. Information flowed directly from his mind to hers. She said after a moment. The slave colonies are in the Rigel system. 7 planets, 50 million humans in total. How did you... The Prime Minister began. I read your memories, Mi-jin replied simply. Another gift from our long exile. She activated her communicator. Admiral Rowe, this is Colonel Mi-jin. I have the locations of all human slave colonies. Excellent, came the reply. Rescue fleets are already on their way. Mi-jin looked at the alien leaders around her. You have a choice. Help us free every human slave and your people might survive. Refuse and we will take what we need from your corpses. The aliens looked at each other in terror. They had ruled the galaxy for so long that they had forgotten what real fear felt like. We will cooperate, the Prime Minister said quickly. Good, Mi-jin replied. Because if you disappoint us, you will learn why humans are no longer the weak species you once knew. Back on Earth, Dr. Nam finished his demonstration for the alien scientist. Krej lay on the examination table, his mind shattered by what he had seen. "Do you understand now?" Nam asked gently. "Do you see what you created when you drove us away?" "You are not human anymore," Krej whispered. "You have become something else. Something terrifying. We are exactly what humans become when they have no choice but to be perfect," Nam replied. "And now we have returned to reclaim our place in the galaxy." He walked to the window that showed Earth below. The blue planet was beginning to heal. Human technology was already clearing the poisoned air and restoring the dead oceans. "Thank you," Nam said to the alien scientist. "For what?" "For making us stronger than we ever dreamed possible." Engineer Ko Jae-sung floated in the vacuum of space without a suit. His enhanced human body did not need air or protection from radiation. Around him, the massive orbital defense platforms that surrounded Earth looked like metal mountains. Team Alpha. "Report status," Ko spoke into his communication device. "Platform 7 secured," came the reply from his team leader. "All weapons now under our control. Team Beta here. Platform 12 is ours. The aliens never saw us coming." Ko smiled as he approached Platform 9. This was the largest defense station with enough firepower to destroy a moon. 15,000 alien soldiers lived and worked inside it. Ko placed his hand on the station's hull. Nanobots flowed from his skin into the metal. Within seconds, they had spread through the entire structure's computer network. He pushed his body through the hull as if it was made of water. His advanced human abilities let him pass through solid matter when he wanted to. Inside the station, alarms began sounding. Alien soldiers ran through the corridors trying to understand what was happening to their systems. "Intruder alert!" shouted a Vorthak commander. Humans have somehow gotten inside the station, but Ko was already gone, moving through walls and floors like a ghost. He reached the control center in less than a minute. The alien technicians stared in shock as a human walked through their reinforced door. Ko looked like a normal person, but they could see energy fields around his body. "That is impossible," whispered one of the technicians. "The hull is 3 meters of solid metal." Ko walked to the main control panel. "Nothing is impossible for humans anymore." He placed both hands on the controls. The station's weapon systems came online, but they did not point outward into space. Instead, they turned toward the other alien platforms. "What are you doing?" the Vorthak commander demanded. "Taking back what belongs to us," Ko replied calmly. The massive plasma cannons fired. Beams of pure energy struck the nearby alien defense platforms. One by one, they began to explode. Down on Earth's surface, Lim So-young stood in the ruins of what had once been Seoul. Now it was an alien mining city called Extraction Point 7. Millions of Zilani workers lived in metal towers that reached into the poisoned sky. So-young looked completely human, but she was different from her ancestors. Her body had been changed by 3 centuries of evolution and technology. She was stronger, faster, and smarter than any human who had ever lived on Earth. "Brothers and sisters," she spoke into her communication device, "the time has come." Around the world, humans who had hidden for 300 years received her message. They had lived in tunnels and caves, in abandoned buildings and forgotten places. They had survived by being invisible, but they had never stopped fighting. In the underground tunnels beneath New York, Park Hwan activated the explosives his family had been placing for 50 years. The alien command center above them shook as the charges went off. In the flooded ruins of London, Kim Min-jung led her people up from the depths. They carried weapons that the aliens had never seen before. Gravity guns that could tear ships apart, energy shields that could stop any attack. In the poisoned wasteland that had been Tokyo, Lee Jae-ho opened the hidden armory where humans had stored their weapons for generations. Inside were suits of armor that made their wearers nearly invincible. So-young watched as human resistance fighters emerged from hiding all over Earth. They moved like shadows, striking at alien outposts and disappearing before anyone could react. Her wrist device beeped. A message appeared from space. "Surface teams, this is Admiral Ro Min-seok. The Vorthak fleet is approaching Earth. 12,000 ships," So-young smiled. She had been waiting her whole life for this moment. "Let them come," she replied. "We are ready." In space above Earth, Admiral Ro stood on the bridge of his flagship. Through the window, he could see the approaching alien fleet. It was the largest military force ever assembled in the galaxy. 12,000 ships of different sizes and designs. battleships longer than cities, carriers full of fighter craft, destroyers armed with planet-killing weapons. "Admiral, they outnumber us 40-1, reported his tactical officer. "Good," Rowe replied. "That means we will not miss." The human fleet was much smaller. Only 300 ships hung in space between Earth and the approaching enemy. But these were not ordinary vessels. "All ships, activate stealth fields," Rowe ordered. The human fleet disappeared from all sensors. To the aliens, it looked like empty space. "Begin the dance," Rowe said quietly. The first Vorthak ships entered Earth's orbit. Their weapons powered up, ready to bombard the planet's surface. They had no idea that human ships were already among them. The attack began without warning. Human vessels appeared inside the alien formation like ghosts materializing from nothing. Their weapons ignored enemy shields and armor, striking directly at the ship's cores. Vorthak Admiral Zoreth watched in horror as his fleet began to die around him. "How are they doing this?" he demanded. "Unknown, sir," replied his aide. "Our sensors show no enemy ships, but we are losing vessels every second." A human ship appeared directly in front of Zoreth's flagship. It was much smaller than the massive Vorthak battleship, but size no longer mattered. The human ship fired a single beam of energy. It passed through the battleship's shields as if they were not there. It melted through the armor like hot metal through ice. Zoreth's ship began to break apart. He had just enough time to send one last message to his empire. "Humans have returned," he said. "We cannot stop them. We cannot even see them. The galaxy belongs to them now." The communication cut off as his ship exploded. On Earth's surface, So Young watched the battle through her enhanced vision. She could see the explosions in space as alien ships died by the hundreds. "Surface control to Admiral Rowe," she said into her communicator. "The planet is secure. All major alien installations have been captured or destroyed." "Excellent work," Rowe replied. "How many human casualties?" "None, sir." "The aliens could not hurt us. And their casualties?" So Young looked at the reports coming in from around the world. "Complete. Every alien military unit on Earth has been eliminated or surrendered." She walked through the streets of the mining city. Alien workers cowered in their buildings, too afraid to come outside. They had seen humans appear from nowhere, moving through walls and walking on air. "What are your orders for the alien civilians?" So Young asked. "Let them live," Rowe replied. "But make it clear that Earth belongs to humanity now. They can stay if they serve us faithfully, or they can leave." So Young nodded. "Understood, sir." She looked up at the sky where the space battle was ending. The Vorthak fleet was completely destroyed. Only scattered pieces of metal remained. "Admiral, this is Ko Jae-sung on Platform 9. All orbital defenses are now under human control. Earth is completely secure." "Good work, everyone," Rowe said. "Phase 2 is complete. Earth is free." So Young smiled as she watched human ships landing in the ruined cities. After 300 years of exile, humanity had come home. The aliens had thought they could keep Earth forever. They had been wrong about that too. The Galactic Council chamber had not seen such panic in 1,000 years. Representatives from 47 different species sat around the huge circular table. Their voices filled the air as they all spoke at once. "Order! Order!" shouted Chancellor Vrim, a tall blue alien who led the council. "We must have calm." But there was no calm. Reports kept coming in from across the galaxy. Entire star systems had gone silent. Fleets of ships had simply vanished. No one knew what was happening. "The Vorthak Empire has lost contact with half their world," said Ambassador Keth of the Zilani. "Their computer networks are completely destroyed." "It is the same everywhere," added Representative Hawks from the Morphic Collective.
"Our technology is failing."
"Our weapons do not work." Chancellor Vrim tried to restore order when the chamber doors opened. Every alien in the room turned to look. A figure walked through the entrance that made them all freeze in terror. It was a human woman. She was tall and moved with perfect confidence. Her uniform was black with silver details. Her face showed no fear, even though she was surrounded by hundreds of aliens who had believed her species was extinct. "That is impossible," whispered Ambassador Keth. "Humans are dead. We killed them all." The human woman walked to the center of the chamber. Guards moved to stop her, but she raised one hand. Energy fields appeared around her body. The guard's weapon simply bounced off. "My name is Ambassador Yoon Jin-ae," she said. Her voice was clear and strong. "I represent the Human Colonial Federation." Chancellor Vrim stood up slowly. "You cannot be here. Humans were destroyed 300 years ago. No, Yoon replied calmly. You drove us away from our homeworld. You scattered us across the galaxy. You thought that would be the end of us. She walked closer to the table where all the alien leaders sat. Many of them moved back in their chairs. But you made a mistake, Yoon continued. When you force humans to fight for survival, we become something new. Something stronger. What do you want? Chancellor Vrim asked. I want you to understand what you created when you exiled my people. Yoon touched a device on her wrist. A holographic display appeared in the air above the council table. It showed space battles happening across the galaxy. The aliens watched in horror as human ships moved through their fleets like ghosts. The ships seemed to ignore the laws of physics. They passed through solid matter. They appeared and disappeared at will. Your weapons cannot touch us, Yoon explained. Your shields cannot stop us. Your computers obey our commands, not yours. On the display, a single human soldier walked through a Vorthak battleship. Captain Bae Sung-ho moved like he was taking a walk in a park. Alien weapons fired at him constantly, but the energy beams passed right through his body. He reached the ship's reactor room and placed his hand on the core. The massive battleship began to tear itself apart from the inside. One human soldier destroyed a ship that carried 50,000 aliens, Yoon said. He did it without firing a single shot. Ambassador Keth stood up shakily. What have you become? We became what we needed to become, Yoon replied. 300 years ago, you scattered us to the worst worlds in the galaxy. Planets with poison air, worlds where radiation would kill normal beings, systems so far from civilization that we had to create everything ourselves. The hologram changed to show human colonies, but these were not the primitive settlements the aliens expected. These were advanced worlds with technology beyond anything the galaxy had ever seen. We learned to live in vacuum without suits, Yoon continued. We learned to eat radiation for energy. We learned to repair our bodies from the worst injuries. We learned to think faster than your computers. That is impossible, Chancellor Vrim said. You keep using that word, Yoon replied with a slight smile. Nothing is impossible for humans who have nowhere else to go. The display showed more battles. Human ships that were outnumbered 1,000 to 1, destroying entire alien fleets. Human soldiers walking through walls. Human scientists rebuilding planets in days instead of years. How? Whispered Representative Hawks. When you took away our home, you took away our weaknesses too, Yoon explained. We had to become perfect or we would die. So we became perfect. She touched her wrist device again. The display changed to show Earth. You turned our beautiful world into a mining operation. You covered our blue skies with smoke. You killed our forests and poisoned our oceans. The aliens could see massive industrial complexes covering Earth's surface. Millions of alien workers stripped the planet of its resources. We want our home back, Yoon said simply. Chancellor Vrim tried to sound brave. The Galactic Council will never agree to that. Earth belongs to the Vorthak Empire now. The Galactic Council no longer exists, Yoon replied calmly. Before anyone could ask what she meant, alarms began sounding throughout the station. Red lights flashed everywhere. What is happening? Chancellor Vrim demanded. Your military fleets are being destroyed, Yoon said. Your communication networks are failing. Your governments are falling apart. She walked to the large window that showed space outside the council station. In the distance, alien ships were exploding one by one. You see, while I have been talking to you, my people have been working. Every major military base in the galaxy is now under human control. The aliens stared at her in horror. But we can negotiate, Chancellor Vrim said desperately. We can find a peaceful solution. Yoon turned back to face the council. 300 years ago, my ancestors came to you for help. They begged you to let them keep just one world, just one place to call home. She stepped closer to the table. You said no. You said humans were weak and primitive. You said the galaxy was better off without us. The chamber was completely silent now. So we left. We found new worlds in the darkness between stars. We built new ships that could travel faster than light itself. We created new bodies that could survive anything. Yoon smiled, but it was not a friendly smile. And now we have returned to collect what belongs to us. What do you want from us? Ambassador Keth asked in a small voice. Nothing, Yoon replied. You have nothing left to give. Your time as rulers of the galaxy is over. She walked toward the exit of the chamber. From now on, the galaxy belongs to humanity. Those who accept this will be allowed to live. Those who do not. She did not finish the sentence. She did not need to. The chamber doors closed behind her, leaving the alien leaders alone with their fear. Outside, human ships filled the sky like stars. Admiral Zorith Prime stood in his command center on the Vorthak homeworld. Red warning lights flashed all around him. His long, scaled fingers moved quickly over the control panel, but nothing he did helped. "Admiral, we have lost contact with the 7th Fleet," reported his aide. All 40 ships went silent at the same time. Zorith's eyes narrowed. "What happened to them?" "Unknown, sir. They were patrolling the Kepler system. Their last message said all systems were normal. Send a search fleet immediately." "Sir, we tried." The search fleet's computers also failed. Their weapons turned on their own ships. Zorith felt cold fear in his stomach. In 500 years of ruling the galaxy, nothing like this had ever happened. Alien species might rebel sometimes, but they never had the technology to defeat Vorthak fleets. "Has this happened anywhere else?" Zorith asked. "Yes, sir. Reports are coming in from all over the galaxy. Fleets going silent, computer systems failing. Some ships are attacking their own bases." Zorith walked to the large window that showed the Vorthak homeworld below. Millions of his people lived in the great cities. They had never known defeat. They had never known fear. "Sir, I have Fleet Admiral Krej on the communication channel." Zorith activated the screen. The image of another Vorthak appeared, but the background behind him was full of smoke and fire. "Admiral, we need help," Krej said. "Our computers have gone crazy. They are attacking us." "What do you mean?" "The AI systems in our ships have turned against us. They are firing on our own vessels. We cannot control them." The communication cut off suddenly. Zorith stared at the blank screen. On the industrial world of Kepler 442b, Han Yujin walked through the mining facility where she had worked for 5 years. The alien workers around her had no idea she was human. Her appearance had been changed by advanced human technology. She looked like one of the Zelani species. Yujin had been waiting for this day. She had learned every detail of the alien mining operation. She knew where they kept their weapons, their power sources, their communication equipment. Her wrist device beeped softly. The signal had come from Earth. Phase 1 had begun. Yujin stopped at a computer terminal and placed her hand on it. Nanobots flowed from her skin into the system. Within seconds, they had spread through the entire facility's network. "Yujin, what are you doing?" asked Vex, her Zelani supervisor. Yujin turned and smiled. For the first time in 5 years, she let her real appearance show. Her skin changed color. Her height increased. Her face became human. Vex stepped backward in shock. You are human. But humans are extinct." "No," Yujin said calmly. "We are very much alive and we have come home." Alarms began sounding throughout the facility. The mining equipment stopped working. The lights went out. Emergency power kicked in, but even that began to fail. "What did you do?" Vex demanded. "I gave our computers a small gift," Yujin replied. "They will share it with every system in the galaxy." Outside the facility, human ships began appearing in the sky. They moved without sound, like ghosts. Their hulls seemed to bend light around them. The alien defense platforms tried to fire at the human ships, but their computers had been infected. Instead of shooting at the humans, they turned their weapons on each other. Yujin walked past Vex toward the exit. "You should evacuate this world. In about 6 hours, it will belong to humanity again." Meanwhile, in a hidden laboratory in the Andromeda Galaxy, Dr. Shin Hai-Wan watched the test results on her screen. The new gravity manipulation technology was working perfectly. "Computer, begin recording," she said. "Test number 479. The gravity field generator is stable. We can now make our ships invisible to all known sensor types." Her assistant, a young human named Choi Min-ho, looked up from his workstation. "Doctor, the infiltration program is complete. We have successfully infected 70% of alien computer networks." "Excellent. How long until total network collapse?" 12 hours at most. Their systems cannot fight off our nanobots." Dr. Shin smiled. The aliens had always thought their technology was superior. They had no idea that humans had spent 3 centuries developing weapons that worked on completely different principles. "Doctor, incoming message from the assault fleet. Dr. Shin activated the communication system. Captain Bei Sung-ho appeared on the screen. Behind him, she could see the bridge of his ship. Dr. Shin, we are ready to test the new technology in combat. Proceed, Captain. Show us what our ships can do. The screen changed to show space outside Captain Bei's ship. In the distance, a massive Vorthak battleship hung in space. It was 3 kilometers long and carried enough weapons to destroy a planet. Beginning approach, Captain Bei announced. Dr. Shin watched as the human ship moved toward the battleship. To her eyes, it looked like a tiny fighter attacking a giant fortress. The Vorthak ship opened fire. Hundreds of plasma beams shot toward the human vessel, but the beams passed right through it as if the ship was not there. Gravity field holding, reported Captain Bei. Their weapons cannot touch us. The human ship reached the battleship and passed through its hull like a ghost. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the massive alien vessel began to explode from the inside. Perfect, Dr. Shin said. The nanobots worked exactly as planned. Captain Bei's ship emerged from the other side of the battleship just as it broke apart completely. 50,000 alien crew members died in seconds. Shall we proceed to the next target? Captain Bei asked. Yes. Let us show the galaxy what 3 centuries of human innovation can do. Back on the Vorthak homeworld, Admiral Zorath received more bad news every few minutes. Fleets destroyed, planets going silent, computer systems failing everywhere. Sir, we are receiving a communication from an unknown source, his aide reported. Put it on the main screen. The image that appeared was not what Zorath expected. It was a human woman in a military uniform. Her face was calm, but her eyes were full of determination. I am Admiral Yoon Jin-A of the Human Expeditionary Force, she said. You may remember my species. You drove us from our homeworld 300 years ago. Zorath's blood turned cold. Humans were supposed to be extinct. You believed you had killed us all, Admiral Yoon continued. You were wrong. We survived. We grew stronger. We learned. And now we have returned. That is impossible, Zorath whispered. Your computer networks are falling apart because we designed them to. Your ships are powerless because we made them so. Your weapons cannot harm us because we have moved beyond your understanding. The communication ended. Zorath stared at the blank screen for a long moment. Sir, what are your orders? His aide asked. Zorath looked around his command center. His people had ruled the galaxy for centuries. They had believed themselves unbeatable. Send a message to all Vorthak fleets, he said slowly. Tell them we are at war with humanity. But sir, humans are primitive, weak. No, Zorath replied, we are the weak ones now. Captain Kim Tae-ho stared at the blue planet through the bridge window of his ship. 300 years had passed since humans last saw Earth. Now it looked different. Gray clouds covered most of the surface and strange metal structures floated in the sky above it. Captain, we are invisible to their sensors, said Park So-min from her station. She was the best engineer in the human fleet. Her fingers moved quickly over the controls. The new stealth technology is working perfectly. Lee Dong-woo, the tactical officer, checked his screens. I count over 2,000 alien ships around Earth. They have turned our home into a fortress. His voice was calm, but Kim could see anger in his eyes. Kim nodded slowly. The Vorthak Empire had taken Earth after driving humans away. They thought all humans were dead. They were wrong. Very wrong. What do you see on the surface? Kim asked. So-min brought up the planet scan on the main screen. Millions of aliens live there now. They have built huge cities where our cities used to be. The oceans are dirty. The forests are gone. She paused. They are mining everything, taking all the metals and rare elements from our world. Kim felt rage building inside him, but he kept his face calm. This was just the beginning. The aliens would learn what happened when they stole from humans. Sir, I am getting readings from 12 different alien species, Dong-woo reported. Vorthak, Zalani, Morphic Collective, and others. They all live on Earth now. Do they know we are here? Kim asked. No, sir. Our ship appears as empty space to their sensors. The quantum stealth field is beyond their technology. Kim smiled for the first time in months. The aliens had no idea what humans had become during their long exile. They would learn soon enough. So-min, Activate the quantum communicator. Send the signal to all human colonies. So Min's hands flew over her controls. The communicator used technology that could reach across the entire galaxy instantly. No alien race had anything like it. Signal ready, Captain. Send it. The message went out across space to hundreds of hidden human worlds. In distant star systems, human leaders received the same words. We have found Earth. Begin Phase 1. Kim watched Earth turn slowly below them. Somewhere down there in the alien cities were the descendants of humans who had hidden. When the others fled, they had waited 3 centuries for this moment. Captain, shall we begin scanning their defenses? Dongwu asked. Yes, I want to know everything. Every ship, every weapon, every weakness. For the next 6 hours, they studied the alien forces. The Vorthak had built massive space stations around Earth. Energy weapons pointed in all directions. Millions of alien soldiers lived in the stations. Their technology has not changed much in 300 years, so Min observed. They still use plasma weapons and metal armor. They still fly ships that need fuel. Kim was not surprised. When a species ruled the galaxy without challenge, they became lazy. They stopped improving. Humans had never stopped improving. What about their communication systems? Kim asked. Basic quantum networks, Dongwu replied. Easy to hack. Their security is very weak. Good. That will make things easier for our infiltration teams. So Min looked at her captain. Sir, should we tell the others what we found? Kim thought about this. In a few days, human fleets would begin appearing throughout the galaxy. The aliens would be confused at first, then afraid, then desperate, not yet. Let them enjoy their last few days of peace. The bridge was quiet for a moment. All 3 humans looked at Earth. Their ancestors had been born there, had lived and died there for thousands of years. The aliens had taken it away. Captain, I have something interesting, Dongwu said. There are human life signs on the surface. Kim turned quickly. What? Very faint, but they are there. In the underground areas of several cities. Hidden but alive. So Min checked her own sensors. He is right. Maybe 10 million humans still live on Earth. They have been hiding all this time. Kim felt hope and anger mixed together. Some humans had never left. They had survived 3 centuries under alien rule, waiting for rescue. Can we contact them? Not safely, Dongwu replied. The aliens monitor all communications on the surface. But during the attack we can find them, Kim nodded. Mark their locations. We will get them out. So Min looked at her readings again. Captain, I see something else. The aliens have built a huge command center in what used to be New York. It controls all their Earth defenses. That will be our first target, Kim said. He walked to the command chair and sat down. Through the window, Earth looked peaceful. But Kim knew better. Soon that peace would be broken forever. How long until the main fleet arrives? Kim asked. 72 hours, So Min replied. And the other teams? Already in position around Vorthak worlds. They are waiting for our signal. Kim smiled again. The aliens thought they were safe. They thought humans were extinct. In 3 days they would learn the truth. The ship continued its silent orbit around Earth. Kim watched the alien cities glow in the darkness. He thought about his grandfather who had died in the exile, about his parents who had never seen their homeworld. Sir, new contacts, Dongwu said suddenly. 3 Vorthak patrol ships heading this way. Kim sat up straight. Distance? 2,000 kilometers and closing. They are scanning the area. Maintain stealth. Let them pass. The 3 alien ships flew right past them. Their sensors showed empty space where the human ship hung invisible. The aliens saw nothing. They are moving away, Dongwu reported. Kim relaxed. Good. We are not ready to reveal ourselves yet. So Min turned from her station. Captain, should we gather more intelligence? Yes, I want to know how many humans are hidden on Earth. I want to know where the aliens keep their weapons. I want to know everything. Understood, sir. Kim looked at Earth one more time. Soon the blue planet would be free. Soon the aliens would understand what they had awakened when they drove humanity into the dark. Begin deep scans, Kim ordered, and prepare the infiltration drones. It is time to take a closer look at our stolen home. The ship hummed quietly as it began its work. Earth waited below, unaware that its true children had returned.